TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. I'll be honest, I didn't even really know what it was until probably 6 months ago. I started seeing content online, I started to see documentaries. I heard a statistic today that testosterone levels are going down and that some 20-year-olds have the same testosterone levels as a 60-year-old in the 1980s. Now, I know that they don't really know why exactly testosterone levels are going down. However, it could be contributed to environmental factors such as the amount of chemicals that we're exposed to, plastics. It could be also lifestyle factors like the fact that people are more sedentary or that we eat a lot more processed and ultra processed food. I grew up as a kid in the 80s, and I can contest that if you wanted to get up and change the channel on the TV, you had to get up and change it. If you wanted to get some sort of food, you had to get up out of your house and you couldn't just conveniently order it. We didn't have cell phones. I remember I had a crush on a girl in the first grade and I couldn't just look at her Facebook. I would have to get on my bike and go to her house or go to like an area I thought she'd be hanging out with her friends or something like that. So, you spent a lot more time outside of your house. You spent a lot more time not vegetating on the sofa watching TV. But anyway, just wanted to talk a little bit about TRT because I'm not, this is in no way medical advice. I'm not an expert, but I just want to talk about this because I feel like I see it everywhere. And I had no idea how prolific it is, not only among people like myself in their 40s, but among now a lot of younger people. And I think there's a lot of interesting topics here. Uh, Number one, I think that people are very impatient. They want a magical drug like Ozempic that will make them, lose weight quickly, or they want some sort of magical solution to put on muscle quickly. A lot of things of quality, like if you want to attain your ideal physique or money, it takes a lot of time. Or if you want to build a business, it takes so much time. There are cases where maybe it happens a lot quicker. Maybe if you're genetically predisposed, or maybe you get, you start your business at the right time and you kind of meet the right people. But a lot of things just take a lot of consistency and effort. And so the main point I'm trying to make here is that I find TRT really interesting. I'll give you an example. I had a friend one day call me and he was like, yeah, I'm getting my testosterone tested and I'm going to get TRT and I can't wait because I've been tired. It's going to give me a bunch of energy and focus. And it's really I'm going to be able to put on a lot of muscle. He was sending me, there's a ton of Reddit threads where there's people that post their before and after. There's some incredible results, I won't lie. And to be honest, I'm sure there's cases where people need testosterone. They're genetically predisposed to lower testosterone or what have you. Those cases make sense. But I think that what's interesting to me is, so, my friend had called me. He was talking about wanting to take TRT. And I started to ask him some questions about, well, are you working out? What's your diet look like? I feel like there's people that want to take TRT and they don't yet realize that they can significantly boost their testosterone levels by just kind of, tried and true methods, getting more sleep, trying to reduce your stress, getting, maybe it's a matter of just getting more sunlight or vitamins. Um, Even myself, I thought about taking it, but what I resorted to instead was I resorted to getting better nutrition and, taking time to boost it organically. And for me, that was just, I honestly haven't tested my testosterone levels, and I'll probably do a test and I'll post the results here to see. I don't know if I have low testosterone or high testosterone, but I feel like I have a pretty good, energy levels. I don't really feel overly fatigued. I do drink probably too much coffee or caffeine. I try to get about 7 hours of night of sleep a night. But what I've been really, really good about is just, eating very clean, low processed food. I work out quite a bit, try to lift heavy weights, lift, relatively heavy and increase, the amount of weights I'm lifting without overtraining or doing too much volume. But the main point I wanted to make, probably the title of this video will be something like you don't need TRT. And I think a lot of people really don't need TRT. I think that either it's a case of they may not understand the consequences. Again, I don't fully know because maybe I've heard that it could affect fertility rates. It could lead to increase in like what am I trying to think of here? It could lead to certain kinds of increased chances of certain kinds of cancer. There's other side effects I'd heard about, like maybe, your skin you might get a bit more acne, or you might get, increase balding or something like that. I don't really know because I've never taken it. So these are just things I've kind of heard about on podcasts or as I research. And again, I'm gonna test my testosterone. I'm gonna do blood work and I'll post my results here. Maybe it turns out I could have really low testosterone. I just really don't know. I need to educate myself more on it. But I will say what's interesting is one day I was at the gym, a gym I go to a lot. And again, I'm completely naive. I had no idea that so many people were taking it. I was surprised to find out that younger men were taking it. So I actually have a buddy that I know at the gym, and I run into him one day, and I just happened to, it's a sensitive topic. A lot of times people don't want to talk about it. But in this instance, I mentioned, just in passing, I said, hey, I have a friend that, called me and was talking about TRT, and I don't really know a lot about it. And I'm thinking about doing some blood work and maybe taking it. At the time, I was just excited. I was like, oh, I would love to have a magical injection that's going to make me have more energy, or maybe I'll get more work done, or just think clearer. And maybe it will be some magical substance like in the movie Limitless. But mid sentence, my friend at the gym was like, "Oh yeah, I take TRT. I've been on TRT," and I was, kind of surprised. I was shocked. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't tell he was on TRT, but he's like, "Yeah, I take TRT. I'm on it. I've been on it for a while. I'm gonna probably take it for life." He was telling me, yeah, it's affected my sleep, and some other side effects, but I think people would sacrifice their health to look good. It's not surprising that people would want to do that. Um, but yeah, I was just surprised that I think probably more people are on it than you really think. You go to the gym, a lot of people are, men could be on some form of TRT or some other substance. But again, I don't really know much about this. The extent of my supplement use is creatine, protein powder, and vitamins. I've never really ventured beyond that. And, maybe I will. I don't know. I don't know enough about those substances. And be honest, they kind of scare me. But maybe in the right dosage, they would be beneficial. Again, I need to do blood work. But I will say this. I feel like most people can make tremendous progress by just adopting a clean diet, sleeping, all the things that are kind of boring, all the things that are really difficult. It's really difficult to eat clean, to train. It becomes monotonous. There's so many days I don't want to go to the gym or train. Maybe because I'm just overtraining or doing like 2 workouts a day. And I find I might be overdoing it, but it's tough. Everyone's stressed, time is limited. Social media, your cell phone, I mean, that just gobbles up a ton of time. And so motivation can be low, and everyone wants a quick, they want the get rich quick thing or pill or miracle. We all love these quick miracles. Would I like to take something that will make me, super muscular overnight and shredded? Sure, I would love to. But I'm aware of the side effects. I don't want to be dependent on something, to be honest. But yeah, maybe I'll make some more videos about this. Maybe I'll try to do a little documentary. I think that'd be fun. But just a subject that is Uh, I see it all over the place. I think it's really become very ubiquitous. It's become very, at least from what I see online. But yeah, feel free to comment below about your experiences, what you think about it. I just was shocked to hear about more people or men that are taking it that are younger. And again, I think in those instances they can naturally boost their testosterone. They don't need to resort to testosterone, or as they say, some exogenous form of testosterone or external form of testosterone. I think they really can make tremendous strides if they're patient and consistent with just a good, clean diet and consistent gym routine. But yeah, tell me what you think below. And as always, really appreciate your time.